but I don't want to focus on the game as much, Dan, as I do about the new additions. Penner, Halak, and of course, Kuznetsov made his debut last night. What kind of impact do we expect these guys to have 16 games left?
I mean, I think that the impact of Halak is going to be immense at this point. You know, they're playing with their season at stake against their arch rival, and they've already got this guy playing goal for them. I think clearly he's the most important at this point for the rest of this season of those three guys that you mentioned. And he played okay. There seems to be some kind of communication issues with the defense, which is probably something that you'd expect, I guess, with a new guy. Or with Mike Green, yeah. But, you know, Kuznetsov got 10 minutes, didn't really do anything to distinguish himself one way or the other. I think that he'll probably start getting more minutes and, you know, certainly spend less time on the fourth line as the season goes on. But, you know, clearly the good thing about having him here, I don't think I'm speaking out of turn here, is that he's going to get some experience so that next year he can, you know, have a head start on what's really his rookie season. I don't think that, you know, this guy playing 10 minutes a game or 12 minutes or whatever it is going to be the difference between Washington making the playoffs or not. But I think it's great, you know, for the long-term development of him. But I think for this year, it's Halak is the guy that you got to keep an eye on.
Mike, would you agree with that as far as the impact of these guys? Halak obviously having the biggest one in goal.
No, well, if you believe they're going to make the playoffs, and I don't, so I think that it was almost like a George McPhee, get me somebody to do something for our playoff push because I couldn't find a defenseman, and nobody could at the NHL trade deadline. But I think to his point, Kuznetsov, this is all about him. He gets in the middle of a playoff push, which I don't think is going to be successful, but it could. Stranger things have happened. And at least he's around. And the funny thing is, standing next to the guy last night, they list him at 6'2", 200. He's probably 6'2", 185. A very wiry guy. Fast, incredibly quick, and obviously has some stick handling skills. But it'd be interesting if he can adjust to the physical play of the NHL off the bat. I think it's going to take a while. I think he's going to have to grow up a little bit.
I think it's interesting you say that because the Caps TV commentators were saying how much bigger he looked than when he was here for a development camp a little while ago.
Oh, he must even be skinnier then.
Yeah, they were saying he was such a string bean then. So if he still is that way, I guess it's.
LeVar, what kind of impact do you expect these guys to have? What about Penner? Here's a big guy who comes in for Erat. It's got to be an upgrade along the front as far as a big body who can kind of get in and mix it up. One of the things the team has been missing in a lot of ways.
I mean, they have been missing that. And I could talk about Penner or
Kuznetsov.
There you go. But I want to go back to Halak. I think that what Halak brings to the table, even though you're probably right, McPhee probably did want to get a defenseman that was legit. Everybody talks about improving, guarding the blue line and then defending it. But I think that by bringing in Halak and unloading Neuwirth, for one, you're planning for the future. So it would seem, for one, for the sense that you cleared a contract that was of significant value, but you also brought in a guy that whether he's been playing very well or not, what he's capable of doing as a goalie, and I think that McPhee did it for multiple reasons. One, for the contractual side of it. Two, to challenge Braden and say, look, I know you came in as the golden boy, but and people are defending you, saying that, look, it's defensemen that are costing this team, not the goalie. But we're going to bring in this old vet that we know can play well. We know firsthand that he can play well, and I think they are going to ride him. And I think they really feel as though if they're going to have a chance to make a playoff run, they want it to be competitive, to figure out who they're going to use. But I ultimately think that they've lost some hope, or not hope, some faith and trust, I'd say, in Braden Holtby, and so that's why I think they brought him.
We'll see if Halak fares any better with still a weak defense right ahead of him like Holtby did.